I have been trade negotiator and ambassador of Bolivia to the United Nations, and very much involved in this issue. To put it in simple ways, we are discussing about a mechanism to solve controversies between states and investors. First question, which investors? Foreign investors, not national investors. So first thing, this will create double standard. First class investors will be foreign investors. Second class investors are national Malaysian investors. Malaysian investors cannot access ISDS in the TPP. This is only for foreign investors. Second, who uses this mechanism? If the mechanism is fair, you will have cases brought by states and cases brought by investors. But if there are more than 600 cases and 98% are brought by foreign investors. So it is a mechanism that is not used by both sides, investors and states. It's used only for foreign investors. Now, who wins? The only one that can win in reality is the foreign investor. Because the best option for a state is not to lose. What do I mean? There are cases where the award is in favor of the state. That means the state will not pay compensation. That is the best that can happen to a state when a state is brought into an ISDS mechanism. If the state loses, he has to pay compensation to the foreign investors. So for the foreign investor, when he wins a case, he gets money. When the state wins,
you lose money.
The only thing that you have is you will not pay the compensation. But as you said, they lose money because it is very expensive for a state to go to an ISDS process. Cecilia has said you have to pay $3,000 per day for an arbitrator, for your lawyer to defend you, $250 per hour. How much does it cost in terms of arbitrators and in terms of lawyers for a state, a case? We're speaking about something between $3 million to $8 million that you will have to pay anyway, even if you win the case. So now, last problem. What issues can be brought? So when a foreign investor can bring a state, in its origin, it was, hey, you can bring if there is an expropriation of your assets. So you have a factory, and suddenly the state needs to build a park, and maybe there is a dispute in relation to of the amount of the compensation for the expropriation. That can go to ISDS. But it's clear, the foreign investor has brought money, has built a factory. But now, the way these agreements are written, investment is very broad. So, the case of the cigarettes, you can say, you are indirectly expropriating my investment because this label in the cigarettes is going to decline my profits. So you are expropriating me. So the definition of expropriation, the definition of investment is so broad that restricts the policy space of states. That is why we are very worried about the issue of ISDS.